What's happening, folks, on the interwebs? It is Kyle with Variety and Errors. Welcome to my channel, Variety and Errors, where we get into searching for valuable currency in our pocket, our wallet, our purse, backpack, whatever it is that you carry money in. In this video, though, today marks the start of a month that's a very important month, which is Black History Month. And not only that, but there's also recent news that's come out that kind of coincides with that somewhat. So, this video is going to cover the changes and redesigns in U.S. currency banknotes. Let's check it out. So like I said, if you have not heard about it, there has been some redesign things that came up back in 2015, but then the Trump administration and kind of the beginning of the year, latter end of last year, released some news about that, stating what they thought about the redesigns of any denomination of bill. So originally back in, I believe it was June or July of 2015, spearheaded essentially by the Obama administration, Jack Lew, the Secretary of Treasury, essentially wanted to do a redesign. He felt it was time to change some depictions on the bill. So first they kind of went through different denominations, and there's some other facets of things that are going to change about the bills. Most definitely in 2020 is what they said, that I'll talk about in a minute. However, they talked about redesigning actual physical graphical things about the bill, and it was to change the presidential depiction. So first they talked about the $10 bill, which is, of course, Alexander Hamilton, and that started to be the first thing that took traction and all this stuff. People were like, oh, cool, whatever, Alexander Hamilton. And then there's like a Broadway play or something that got real, popular or something. That, along with some other things, they decided to move on from that. So then they said, well, let's go for the $20 bill, and it should be a woman on it, which I think is wonderful. I mean, in history and social economic changes, I think that women have made such leaps and bounds, both causing things to positively change as well as just being a part of things and being a forefront of change. So I think it's cool that we depict that as part of, any other historical depiction on a bill. However, they weren't sure what denomination they wanted to go with, but they said, hey, let's move Andrew Jackson to the reverse of the bill. They haven't said what it's going to look like yet, but they said that essentially he'll still be on the back of the bill somewhere, but they're not really sure what they're going to incorporate there. Other changes that are going to come to bills, though, is the $5 bill and the $10 bill were said, if a redesign does take place, that they're going to incorporate other historical figures in the depictions on the back of the bill. So, for example, at the Lincoln Memorial, there's many speeches that have taken place there that are historical. They'll feature various people on the backs of those bills, like Martin Luther King, amongst many others like Susan B. Anthony, the 1913 women's suffrage movement, or parade rather, and amongst many other things have been kind of tossed in the air. There's lots of people that they did not settle on Harriet Tubman initially to be the depiction on the front of the $20 bill replacing Andrew Jackson. Albeit she's very important due to the Underground Railroad and her forefront in the freedom of degradation and subsequent dissolvement of slavery. But of course, she's a very important figure. If you don't know who Harriet Tubman is, then reference our website or go on Google and definitely look it up. She's important. But they talked about other women figures in history, such as Susan B. Anthony, Lucretia Mott, amongst many others. And I think however important they were to history, I think Harriet Tubman would be the most deserving of a spot on a bill. But the Trump administration said that they weren't really, that wasn't an important facet of anything with bill redesign. What they want to do is, I feel is important as well, although their design would be cool, is they're going to focus more on tactile functions. So tactile functions that they're going to focus on is essentially for people that have impaired vision or blind. And they're going to try to incorporate, I guess, some sort of Braille type system, sort of like the currency found in quite a few countries. So Canada has that, for example. And another thing about our bills is I don't think they're going to change the size of it, because the actual foundation of producing all that is kind of well set and been used the same way for a long time, denominationally speaking, or dimensionally speaking, rather. But I think, as far as different denominations having, a different set of type of raised or even embedded type of, whatever, symbolism that would represent that bill, I think that's wonderful for people with impaired vision. So that's very cool. They're also focusing on quite a few new anti-counterfeiting measures, um, which is also important because that's always a rising problem with any country's currency. So those are other features that the Trump administration has stated, hey, if we're going to do a redesign, we might put her on the $2 bill. But I don't know, with Trump and kind of the crazy things he says, whether you like him or not, who knows if he's being real about that or not. But also, I know they laid a lot of groundwork in the Obama administration for changes in bills, most importantly, a graphical redesign. So we'll see what comes up. I think it's an awesome subject. I think it's very interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments below on that, and keep an eye out for the next videos to come, which is looking through our wallet, our purse, our pocket for valuable currency that might be worth some big bucks, as well as a little bit of coin searching.